if everyone can see and hear things okay, we'll get started. Um, I had an idea a few days ago to help advertise my games and also just because I wanted to get into streaming again and content creation to stream my own games. So, what I'll be doing for this is every Saturday around 7 p.m. my time or so, I will be streaming one or two, maybe even three, depending on how long the games are. Of I'll be streaming games I have made. I'll be playing through them, reading through them because they're all text based. And if there are any points where I've got some commentary to give, I'll give my commentary. If chat have any questions at any point, feel free to give questions. If there's any choices you want me to make and I haven't made them yet, well, I'll open it up to you guys. You can choose. The interest stuff for this week's games are, and again, they were the first games I made that I put up on itch.io. So for these, I actually don't have a great memory of making them. I made them about a year and a half ago, so I'm essentially playing them blind. Like I remember the concept and stuff, but I don't actually remember the correct paths, the correct anything like that. So yeah, a lot of them are micro decisions, but I remember them are macro ones. Hopefully, things will come to mind. So I'm gonna start playing now. Then, sorry if this is not the most exciting stream, especially because it's text-based games. Yeah, if anyone has any questions at any point or anything they want to say, um, I will be keeping an eye on chat. I'll have it open on my mobile so I can just have a quick read. Um, and yeah, just stream chat. Perfect. Cool. So I'm gonna get started now. This was my first Twine game after I left university. I can't remember what made me decide to make it. Like, I think I just was in the mood to try making a game. Twine was an engine I was familiar with because I'd used it a few times at university for some projects. It's not programming heavy, it's very much just all writing. And I've always felt kind of confident in my abilities as a writer, but I've never really been able to finish like a traditional project, like a book or anything. That medium never clicked with me. Whereas games, I studied games for 5 years at that point. I've obviously always liked games, super generic stuff like that. So because of all of that, I was able to try writing games instead. For this, I wanted to create something strange. Actually, I've got a blurb here that describes it. So another short twine game I made about a week ago. Wrote this in about an hour and a half. So very, very quick. Tried to make it weird, very abstract metafiction. There wasn't much I was trying to do here. I just wanted to make a weird metafiction game that would be interesting to play. The sense of humor is very stupid from what I remember. It's more weird for the sake of being weird as opposed to for a purpose. Thankfully, my writing got more sophisticated over time. There was a lot more reason behind my weird surrealism and stuff like that. So, um, yeah, first screen. Do you wish to play this game? Yes or no? Straight away going into some weird meta stuff instead of having it be logical or whatever. Instead of anything like that, it's just immediately, hey, this is a game. What do you want to do? Do you want to play it? I think I over described this bit, but yeah, we'll say yes here. We'll play it normally. Welcome to the simulation. Would you like to read the induction pack, play through the tutorial, buy one pizza, get one free, pass go, and generally learn the meaning of existence? So here's where we get into some of my dumb surrealism for the sake of surrealism sense of humor here. Uh, this deal is sponsored exclusively by Calzone Shed. Oh, can everyone read all the text and stuff fine? Please let me know chat if you can. Um, okay. Yeah, I should have done like a test stream earlier. That was setting up me. But yeah, this deal is sponsored. Perfect, thank you, Red. This deal is sponsored exclusively by Calzone Shed. Terms and conditions apply. If you are in a majority, you cannot buy the pizza. Yep, I do not remember this. I don't remember writing this bit whatsoever. This is I made this what? Oh, yeah, back in October 2000 and God, 17 now, yeah. Christ, it's 2019. So yeah, I apologize for the weird sense of humor for no reason. Like I said, things will get more sophisticated after this game. If you're in a majority, you cannot buy the pizza. If you're a human, you cannot buy a calzone. If you're a bird, then you're welcomed with open arms. No shoes, no shirt, all service. I'm sorry, yeah, astronaut. Oh, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Um, Hopefully you can get that sorted. If not, oh, that's a shame. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll skip the tutorial. I did do a quick test of this game earlier, the most of the stream test I did. Uh, so, welcome to level 1. Oh, maybe we should have done the tutorial. Okay, it's fine. Welcome to level 1. Your decisions from this point on decide everything. How you will live, how you will die, what your next career will be, what you will do upon completion of the game. What do you want to do? We're going to die. The main reason being I made the wrong choice, and I won't show off one of my bad ends. One thing I try and do with every game I make is make multiple bad ends. I like the idea of bad endings. I like bad endings at the start of a game. I like that kind of thing. It's something that just intrigues me both as a writer and a game designer. You refuse to open your eyes. Your alarm goes off. You refuse to open your eyes. An amount of time passes. You refuse to open your eyes. Your alarm goes off. You refuse to open your eyes. An amount of time passes. The routine continues. You refuse to open your eyes. Your eyes cannot open. A voice plays. Game over. This is another thing that you'll see in my later games that isn't in this one. I like to name the bad ends. I like to give them more of an identity. In this game, apparently I didn't. So we'll still play the game, but this time we'll go to the tutorial because I messed up there. This is what I thought skipping the tutorial would do. No tutorials found. Searching saved data. Skipping to level 100. Good luck. And then I wrote a lot for this bit, so please be patient. Your eyes open as the screen loads into a new level. Looking round, all you see is a cold, empty tundra. You shiver as you check your inventory for a warm jacket. You have nothing. Your inventory is empty. I think Minecraft inspired this bit. I think what little I know about Minecraft inspired this ending. You check to see if there are tools or anything you can harvest. You're in a crypt apart from basic clothes, and there's nothing in sight that you could use to create tools to help you live. You feel your health deteriorating with the cold. You look to the upper left and see a health bar depleting, but the bottom of which is disappearing into a slew of pixels. Looking at the rest of the eye, you see the same. Oh, and Stardew Valley. Any kind of game that was like that with your typical inventory, I guess that's most games. But I think those two games are the two I recall being the biggest inspiration for this ending. Uh, you look up at the tundra again. Parts of it are turning into streams of code. Some of it is floating in midair, and other parts are clipping over each other. You feel yourself disappearing. Your health is not decreasing anymore, but your existence is fading. Reload. Uh, I will continue again in a second. I have just remembered that one other place I'd like to advertise this. Streaming account. For commentary if anyone is interested. Yeah, so oh, another thing that gave me this idea was a couple weeks ago after Global Game Jam, one of my friends from uni was streaming my game jam game, and that kind of inspired me. And he also gave me some tips as to how often I should like do my schedule for this, etc. So yeah, I just remembered I should probably advertise in his uh, Discord channel. So I'm just doing that quickly now. Okay, back to the game. Sorry about that. Cool. So, how about we go a different route? How about we don't play the game? What happens then? Unfortunately, that is not an option for this game, and you shall play it. Whether you enjoy it or not is up to you. Please start with level 1. We could offer you the tutorial, but rumors say that the corruption begins there, and we do not wish you the worst. So we've already seen some of the fun that I like to have in Twine and why I like it so much as an engine and as a medium for text-based things as opposed to novels. Like you've got that non-linearity. Because we said yes first, we've already seen the lack of the tutorial. We've already seen some of the stuff to do with the corruption here, which we wouldn't have seen if we had done this first. And I'm not saying that path is not optimal, but it gave us more insight, whereas here things are more mysterious. Also, obviously, encourages replayability, because if you went through this path first without any clarification or elaboration or anything, you'd have a mystery that you might want to find out more that you only could by replaying. So, do not wish you the worst. You find a note on the ground. You pick it up and read it. It appears to be written as if it were an extended footnote of some sort. 1. You cannot escape the corruption. You cannot quit the game. Despite all the hard work of our game designers and programmers to fix these issues, the experience crashed whenever a solution to the corruption was proposed. We cannot even define the corruption. Nothing about it can be identified or solved. We must let the game experience die. It is the only solution. Those playing must live the best life they can and hopefully escape, but it is likely too late. 2. The note ends there. It is clear that the next footnote was ripped off after the period on 2. Perhaps you will find a clue if you play the game. Please start with level 1. Welcome to level 1. Your decisions from this point on decide everything. How you will live, how you will die, what your next career will be, how you will do upon completion of the game. What do you want to do? Actually, I'll open up to the room. If there's not a response for like a minute or two, I'll just choose myself. But what should we do? Should we wake up, fall back asleep, make coffee, or well, we've already seen die. So should we wake up, fall back asleep, or make coffee? What I might actually also do after this game is see if I can find some like royalty-free music, or just maybe just some music to put in the background. Because like none of my games, apart from one that won't be this week, but will be next week or the week after, actually have music. So probably would be nice to have some music, especially on downtime like this. Let's put my phone on silent. Oops, unprofessional. So yeah, wake up, fall back asleep, or make coffee. Okay, I'm just going to make the choice. That's easier, I think. But I will in a second. I want to just quickly test something, so I will be back in a second. Just give me a moment. You'll probably hear me rustling around. Okay, cool. Yeah, so what we will just do is we will make coffee then. I will just make choices to make things go a lot quicker and smoother, probably. So, yeah. But if you guys want to like take control like that at some point, feel free. If anyone has questions at any point, feel free to ask. We'll go for making coffee. You do not know what coffee is. Even if you did, you're still asleep. Wake up. Also, we can undo a choice. I forgot you could do then Twine 1. I only made the first couple games in Twine 1 before discovering Twine 2, which is honestly infinitely better because you've got save states then, you've got lots of other functionality. You might see some of that today, you might see that till next week. You do not know what coffee is. Even if you did, you're still asleep. Wake up. Your eyes open. You look around to see an empty room. There's a table opposite your bed and an open window to your left. There's a door to your right. That is all. What do you want to do? Stay in bed. You can stay in bed forever. Time seemingly never passes. You never grow hungry. The UI never appears around you. Nothing happens. Until one day, the corruption hits. One thing I would have done if I had more knowledge of Twine at the time is I would have messed around with formatting more on the word corruption, because as it stands, there's nothing that makes it seem too threatening apart from the capital C. And you just disappear. Sorry, my Wobbuffet keeps falling over, so it's very distracting. There we go. And you just disappear. A note throbs in your head as you fade away. You cannot read it. Reload. So we will actually go back a little bit. What happens with fall back asleep? Read, please wake up and smell the well, whatever you know it as. And once again, a hint that coffee doesn't seem to exist here. Wake up. So we're back here again. Dying just brings you back there every time. Get out of bed. Removing the soft covers that lay on top of you, you rise up. What do you want to do? Examine window. You look out the window. You see two birds that you can look at, but you know the result will be the same. You'll look at a bird. You'll get a dialogue box describing the bird. It will not further the game. It's the illusion of choice. No human really has a choice. Everything leads the same way. There are no consequences to our actions, especially in a video game. This is a classic trick designers do to make the players feel like their choices matter. Like I said, this is meta for meta's sake, weird for weird's sake. I'm not really trying to get at anything. I don't have a message behind this game. It's I don't want to say I'm embarrassed by it, but it's definitely a lot more rudimentary than stuff I like create later. Choices do not matter. Nothing matters. Existentialism will get you in the end. Unless you fight it. Fight the machine. You can make your life matter. All you need to do is close the game. All you need to do is find the note. So instead, we're going to go back to examine window. You'll see why. What do you do? Examine a bird anyway. You look at one of the birds. As expected, the dialogue box appears at the bottom of the screen. It's a bird. You know nothing about birds. You might as well leave it alone. The dialogue box disappears. You feel disappointed. But you were warned. What do you do? Examine table. You walk towards the table to an alternate. You lift it up to read it. We should not have made this game. It has been attacked by the corruption. Footnote 1. Hey, we've read that. We should have spent our time more productively. But alas, we created the game and hired testers. Footnote 2. Now we feel lost, confused, and so do they. So do you, presumably. Trust us when we say this game has no message. We were bored and wanted to make something for fun. I fucking called myself out here. I forgot I did that. Yep, so that's a confession from the author. But the corruption struck, and now the original 100 level experience of having fun is impossible. The note ends there. You can tell there was more to go, but it just faded into pixels. You feel like this message does not match the paper it was written on, almost as if this was not the plan notes for you, the player. Either way, you put it in your inventory. Or attempt to, but it dissipates into some pixels and does not exist anymore. What do you want to do? Leave room. You walk towards the door. After reaching it, you examine it to see that it is wooden. It is barely taller than you, and honestly, the wood texture needs work. You reach for the handle, and a prompt appears. Press E to open. You press the E key on your keyboard in reality, and the door opens in game. You see an empty void behind it. It appears that you will be entering a load screen. Suddenly, your body moves without your control. A cutscene. Continue. Loading level 2. Loading. 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 Level 2 not found. Level 3 not found. Level 100 found. Good luck. Another thing I would have done later on is actually separate these into separate pages for the pacing reasons. So level 2 not found. Level 3 not found. And then final level 100 found. To build up anticipation as it stands here, there's none. It's all in one go. And then, yep, we've got that ending again. So we'll undo for a while. So we only have one thing left, which is illusion of choice. This was probably the smartest thing I did in this game, which was make the true ending come through in an optional choice bit. So instead of being like one of the choices you get at the end of a page, which typically in this kind of interactive fiction, your assumption would be one of those choices continues the story. Something like, say, it's the illusion of choice, just elaborates a little bit, and then you'd return. Having this actually be the correct path was, yeah, the closest thing to a smart call I had actually done with this game. So we'll close the game. Hmm. 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 Close the game. You will want to close the game, but corruption has struck. Do not reload. So we'll reload because the game's told us not to. You look down at your feet. There is a note there. It is clearly ripped, with the top half and some on the side missing. You examine it. It looks to be the end of an extended footnote. I forgot how to read. We suspect that if you beat the game, you can perhaps stop the corruption from entering the real world. But who knows? We will leave a solution beating the game in this footnote. The solution is to find this footnote. Circular logic should break the game and allow you to escape. That's. I don't know if I think that's smart or dumb of 2017 me. But well done, 2017 me, for coming up with whatever the hell that is. So, continuation. Congrats, you win. You have escaped this reality. You can close the tab quickly before I offer for you to try again. Play again? And that's it. That's the first game. It's called A Short Journey because it's very, very short. Like I said, I only wrote it in about an hour to an hour and a half. Hence why there's like almost nothing to it. Um, the whole point of it was I wanted to make something for fun. I wanted to see if I could make something that quickly, and I want to try and make something weird and odd and different. And I feel like it's trying too hard to be clever when it wasn't really. I don't want to be super negative on it, but I definitely feel like it's one of my rougher works. Um, so yeah, I'm just going to pause the stream quickly while I open up the next game that we'll be doing today. Depending on its length, we might move on to another one, a third one, but we'll see. So I will be back in just a minute or so, if that. I just need to make sure this works. Ah, thank you, Red. I didn't actually proofread it or anything either, is the thing. Uh, I just wrote what I could and then that was it. So yeah, I'll be back in a minute. I'm just opening my next game.